I'm Kim Nguyen, Director of Marketing at Speakeasy Company. Today we'll be chatting about Facebook advertising and more specifically, how to make the most of Facebook's audience targeting. If you've already set up a few ads in the past, I'm sure you're familiar with the basic demographic, regional, and interest targeting. We're going to dive in just a little deeper today so you can hone in on your ideal audience at a much lower cost per acquisition. Let's also note that while I mentioned Facebook for the majority of this video, I'm referring to Facebook's entire advertising network, which encompasses ad placements on both Facebook and Instagram. And before I get started, there are a few housekeeping items that you'll need to have set up prior to taking advantage of these tips. First is setting up your Facebook Business Manager account. Second is creating a Facebook ad account that is specific to the business. Don't ever use a personal ad account. And creating a Facebook pixel. The pixel has to be placed on all pages on your website and have conversion events configured for it to work properly. I'm also breaking this presentation into two major categories for audience targeting: acquisition and remarketing. In the acquisition category, the goal is to target entirely new audiences, meaning they've never interacted with your brand before on Facebook, Instagram, or they've never been to your website. So the first audience target I would recommend is targeting people who are complementary or using non-conventional interest targets. So let's say you've narrowed in on the obvious interest categories that are most relevant to your end product. In our world, that would mean people who show interest in whiskey, vodka, or distilled beverages. The next step is to target interest categories that are complementary to your brand. So think about your brand customer. Who are they? What do they do in their free time? What do they care about? For example, if your brand takes extra care to be environmentally conscious through the entire supply chain process from product creation to packaging, try targeting the sustainability interest category under politics and social issues. Be sure to also make your ads relevant to people in that category. So using the same example, highlight the steps that you take to use 100% recyclable or biodegradable packaging in your ad copy. If you're stuck and you're unsure who your target audience is outside of the alcohol and spirits targets, head on over to Google Analytics. GA houses a report specific to audience interests, including affinity categories and in-market segments. Get some inspiration for a new audience category there. The second acquisition audience is creating lookalike audiences from an email list, for example. Facebook allows you to upload an email list that you own to create a custom audience to target on their platform. I recommend uploading an email list of past customers because they've already exhibited the exact shopping behavior that you're trying to find again, a buying customer. You can create your custom audience in the Ads Manager under Audiences, where you'll be prompted to upload a CSV spreadsheet. Facebook will then hash all of your customers' data so that all personal identifying information will be unavailable to protect your audience's privacy in the audience matching process. Once the upload is complete, elect to create a lookalike audience from this custom audience list. Facebook will then identify the common qualities of the people in your list, for example, demographic information or interests, and then deliver your ads to people who are similar to or look like those users. In a nutshell, you can upload a list of your best customers, and Facebook will try to find more people who are potentially new best customers. Some other lookalike audiences that you should consider building out are people who have engaged with an ad or a post, people who have been to your website using the Facebook pixel data, people who have added products to cart, and then maybe people who have initiated a checkout. Let's move on to remarketing. When remarketing, the goal is to re-engage users who have either purchased from you before or have previously interacted with your brand to make a purchase. The first and probably most obvious remarketing audience to target are all non-converting website users. You will create this custom audience based on your Pixel website data. Be sure to exclude any recent purchasers. It's recommended to create multiple versions of this audience based on how recent they've been to your website. I like to break it down into time buckets for the last 7 days, the last 14 days, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. It's important to segment your audience like this, as your messaging might be different when targeting audiences who have been on your website in the last week versus 6 months ago. Another remarketing audience that I'd recommend targeting are your social engagers. You should set up 2 separate audiences for both Instagram and Facebook, and then select the option Target Users who have recently interacted with the post or ad. This means you are selecting to target people who have engaged with your ad even if they didn't click through to the final landing page through a post reaction, a saved post, or comment. Creating this audience segment will allow you to get in front of your audience again and then help drive these users further down the purchase funnel. And of course, there are plenty of other useful custom and lookalike audiences to leverage for Facebook ads, but these are a fantastic place to start. I highly recommend continually testing new audiences to find your perfect marketing mix. And if you'd like to start selling your spirits online to reach a wider national audience, our team at Speakeasy Company can help. We handle the technology, warehousing, and fulfillment of an e-commerce store so that you can start selling your products direct to consumer while staying 3-tier compliant. We also offer digital advertising services to drive traffic to your brand site using our own industry knowledge to help scale your business. See how we can help grow your brand at speakeasycocom. Thank you for joining me today.